everybody, it's me, Alexa, and today we are finally going to be talking about KGF Chapter 2. So, obviously, this is the first video in the new studio, guys! I'm very excited about it. So, as you can see, I got this corkboard behind me, but it's totally empty. So, I would like to ask y'all to send me some stuff that I can print out and tack up on there. And it'd be a lot of fun. I'll just kind of take stuff that y'all can send me or stuff that I make, and I can just tack it up, take them down, you know, change it around whenever I feel like it. But I think that this will be a lot of fun, so send me stuff. So this video has been a long time coming, as we're all aware. I said I was gonna get this one out in a shorter amount of time than I did my RRR one, and then I decided to go a lot longer apparently. But we're here now, we're gonna talk about it. So let's do it. I'm gonna try and keep this a little bit of a shorter review, similar to my RRR one, because y'all seem to like that, and honestly, I liked it as well, so let's do it again. This will overall be a spoiler-free review. I will have a small spoiler section during it. I'll make sure to put warnings on screen, so if you haven't seen the movie, do not worry, I won't ruin it for you. Just make sure to click away when I put my warnings on screen. KGF Chapter 2 was written and directed by Prashant Neel and stars Yash, Srinidhi Shetty, Sanjay Dutt, and Raveena Tandon, as well as many other talented people. There are a lot of prominent characters in this movie, and all of the actors, we'll just start off right at the bat, I think did a spectacular job. There's no one whose performance fell flat or anything. They all did really great. Though I have to say, what makes this movie, I think, so special is Yash's performance as Rocky. I said it a bit in my KGF Chapter 1 review, and I'm gonna repeat it now. He just totally becomes the character of Rocky for this, and it was extremely true in Chapter 2 as well. I think that his presence that he has, his on-screen, his line delivery, all of it is just so compelling and just so intense and powerful that it just fits the movie extremely well. So now that I've preemptively complimented Yash as he deserves for this, let's talk about my overall opinion. So, I enjoyed the movie. I went to see it opening night on a big screen. A bunch of people were cheering and clapping, and it was just genuinely a really fun time. I liked how the story progressed. I was very engaged with it. The action scenes were epic and so much fun to watch. Honestly, the whole thing, I just had a fun time with it. It's not perfect. I will have some negatives to say, quote unquote, but overall I had a fun time, and it seems like that was the main purpose of the film. You know, it's not necessarily meant to be the most logical or realistic. It's meant to be an entertaining film that you go in, you watch, you have a good time, and you leave saying, I enjoyed that. And I think that it accomplished that extremely well. So, end of the day, if that was their goal with the movie, I'd say this is 100% a win. I did like Chapter 2 more than Part 1. I've seen a lot of people having different opinions on it. Like, some people preferred the first one, some people like the second one more. So let me know your thoughts on that down below in the comments and why, because I'd love to hear it. I've read a few tweets and reviews of other people about it, and it was always fascinating to read the different opinions that people have. So please let me know respectfully down below in the comments. And of course, make sure to mark if you're gonna write something super spoilery, because we don't want to ruin it for other people. Chapter 1, you know, was really just all about exposition. You know, it set up this movie. Everything that happened in Chapter 1 was so that this movie could have all that happened in it. And I think the story pacing was a lot better in this Chapter 2. The shots still had that very fast editing to it, which is, you know, it seems it's just a style. You know, it's very intentional. It's what they want to do with it. Personally, as I said in my Chapter 1 review, it's never going to be my favorite style of editing. The prime example of the fast editing that I can think of that's not spoilery at all is there's this car chase earlier on in the movie where it has the car revving and then it cuts to black, and then car revving, then it cuts to black, car revving, it cuts to black, and it's very jarring. And I see what they're going for with it. I know what effect they wanted, and I think it was, you know, fairly effective, but in my opinion, the cutting to black took me out of it more than it made me engaged with it. But I could see why it would be very effective for other people in the audience, so that's not necessarily a negative, just a personal preference. The action fight scenes, you know, again, very fast cut, which is a specific style. I understand why they would do it like that. I'm just not a fan. I'm never gonna prefer the fast cut editing where you can barely tell what's going on. It's so fast cut over just long shots with these great fight choreographies and stuff. And this does still have very good fight choreography. I don't want to take away from that at all. But it's just cut so fast you don't have time to appreciate it. and I like to be able to appreciate it. The fast-paced editing definitely does have a purpose, and it's, you know, gives you that high action feel and gets you kind of like excited, and so I know why they're doing it, but it's just, I mean, as I said in chapter 1, I'll repeat it again. If I see another movie that does it, I'll say it again. It's never gonna be what I prefer. It doesn't mean that it's bad, just not my thing. Despite that stylistic choice, you know, as I said at the beginning of this, I did really enjoy the film still. It was entertaining and fun. The cinematography as well, I think, kind of went hand in hand with the editing, where there were some beautiful shots, and there were also some shots that I wasn't as big of a fan of, and a lot of shots they just cut between so fast that I felt like even watching it twice in theaters, I felt like there wasn't enough time for me to fully appreciate it. But there were some really great shots in there. I will, you know, give props where props are due. And the film has a very distinct style to it, which I can appreciate, even if the style of this film isn't necessarily one of my favorites. And by style, I mean like the coloring, and it has that editing and the cinematography, like the whole visual appeal of it. It's not one of my favorites, but they did exactly what they wanted to, exactly how they wanted to, and I have plethora amounts of respect and appreciation for that, because that is, I mean, that's the most important thing whenever you're making a movie, is to stay true to what you want to create. And it can sometimes be difficult, and I think that you can really see that Prashant Neil, you know, this is his film, his baby, and he put a lot of time, energy, and thought into it, and it came out for a fun film. Alright, so now we're going to talk a little bit of spoilers, because of course we need to talk about the end credit scene, so we're going to go into that in a second, as well as just a few other things that are spoilery that I want to mention. First one, a little bit of a negative again, we have the romance story. I do like their relationship once they're together, but how they got together just, like, doesn't sit perfectly well with me. Like, he kidnapped her, right? Like, that's what happened. And sure, you know, she kind of liked him. You know, she had the dialogues, you know, she thought it was nice looking. He was very brave and strong. You know, she had appeal. But, like, just because you got a crush on a guy doesn't mean they can kidnap you. Just a personal opinion. I didn't love how they like went into their relationship, but I think once they started their relationship, it was really good. The way that they loved each other and cared for each other was really beautiful. I just wish maybe they gave it a bit of a more organic start instead of kidnapping. Alright, so death. We gotta talk about it quickly. Of course, a lot of death happens in this, you know, there's a lot of fights, action, a lot of people die, but we're gonna be mainly talking about Rocky and Rena's death. So Rena's death devastated me. I was so sad by that. She just revealed, you know, that she was pregnant, and I think the timing of it was great. I was very saddened by it, but it was well timed and well placed to motivate the then end of the film, which is of course Rocky's death, which I think that was the best death that they could have given him. It fully fulfilled his promise to his mother, which is of course the motivating factor for the entirety of these two films. And it was just, I think it was the perfect end. Like, of course, she had to die first, Rena, or else he wouldn't have done it. So we needed to have that happen. And then him out on the boat with all of his gold, you know, purposefully getting himself killed and floating down in the water. I think that that was really good. I liked how they did it. No complaints. It was exactly, because that was something I talked about too in chapter 1. I was like, how are they going to end this character in a way that people like? And I think that they did the best ending they could have. But of course, this isn't the end. We then had that end credit scene. People were all leaving, filing out. I was waiting a bit because I like to sit during the credits, because I do. And so I was waiting a few moments, and then all of a sudden I'm like finally like, okay, like everyone's cleared out. I'll start standing to go. And then the end credit scene started. And I was like, whoa, excuse me, madam. I sat right back down in my seat and watched it, and we had the reveal of chapter 3. So of course, it seems like this is going to be during those years that they skipped during this movie, and I have a few opinions on that. Mainly, I wish they had just done it in order. I don't know why they like skipped ahead and then are gonna go back. Secondly, if you shoot any of this in America, hit me up. I'm only not joking at all. That'd be so fun. Imagine if I was in KGF chapter 3, guys. I would die. That would be like the coolest thing in my entire life, I think. I just want to be in the background, just like sitting at a coffee shop or something. Like, I'll just do it. It'd be phenomenal. It'd be my biggest claim to fame, and probably one of the coolest things I ever do. I'm gonna put that out in the universe and see if nothing happens, because that's probably what's gonna happen. So that was a great reveal. I like how they did it with that end credit scene, but I do, you know, I kind of wish they told it in order. I'm interested to see how it'll be. I do have some slight concerns because, of course, you know, we had Jimmy Carter was in it, and his dubbing was not good. I'm really sorry, but it was not. Like, it didn't line up with his lips. It had a different sound quality to Rocky's lines. Like, it wasn't. So I'm hopeful that in chapter 3, you know, because it seems like there's gonna be a lot more U.S. involvement because of the fact that, like, you know, that's why U.S. was there, and, like, during those final moments of his death, you know, we had all those other countries, so we're gonna see all those other countries and how they did. So I'm hoping that they do better dubbing if they do have more American characters in it. It'll just be interesting to see what they end up doing. But it's definitely something that I'm thinking about as we lead up to this film. I just hope it's done a bit better, because if there is a lot of American presence in this and they have dubbing of the quality of Jimmy Carter's quick cameo in this, it will really take me out of the film, and I'm sure a lot of other people too. So it's just something on my mind as I get excited about chapter 3. I'm gonna wait though. You know, any reservations I have or feel are too early to fully have them. You know, I gotta wait till we got a trailer, more information about it. Like, there's so much still to be done before chapter 3. I'm sure it'll be a little while before we get to see that story, which I am looking forward to. Yash as Rocky, as I said at the beginning of this review, he's phenomenal. His performance as Rocky will get me into the theater either way, so I'll be seeing it whenever it comes out, no matter what my reservations are by then after we've learned more, and we'll see how it goes. Just finished editing and realized that I didn't do, like, my proper wrap-up thought outro. It's been too long since I've done one of these, apparently, but here it is. So, final overall thoughts. It is not perfect by any means, but it has a very strong style that it sticks with, which I respect and appreciate. It's not one of my personal favorite films of all time, but I had a great time while watching it, and at the end of the day, that's kind of what's most important. I genuinely had loads of fun, and I walked out of the theater feeling very good about the movie. So, you know, definitely a success in my opinion. And I look forward to seeing the next one when that comes out. Woo! Alright though, I think that is all I really gotta say about KGF Chapter 2. Let me know all of your guys' thoughts down below in the comments. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, because I will be posting more videos. Promise. Alright, stay safe out there everyone, and hope you all have an absolutely amazing day. Bye!